Welcome to Ascending with Toni Rochelle, and I am your host with the most. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Ascending. Man, I hope you guys have been ascending. And for those of you that just now tuning into this show for the very first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, for those of you that don't know what ascending means to rise. It means to keep going. It means to push yourself through life. You know what I'm talking about? I think you do. You remember that time that you was stuck and just didn't know what to do? Or maybe you just wanted to give up? Or maybe you just lost a sense of hope. You know what I'm talking about? I felt that way so many times. Well, that's what ascending means. Some kind of way you got yourself out of that loop. You got up, you pushed yourself, and you just went about your day. You went to work, you still showed up as a mother, you still had to be that teacher. Like, you still had to live life. That's what ascending means. And I thought about it too. I was like, when did I really ascend? But when I really think about it, I have ascended throughout my whole entire life. And I believe that's what you've done too. So this platform right here was created to demonstrate all the ways that we have ascended. So what you're going to get from this show is you're going to hear people's stories. And you're going to be like, dang, she made it through. Dang, he made it through. Then I know I can make it through. And so we created this platform for wellness, for healing, for storytelling. And we want y'all to be all engaged with us because it takes a community. It takes a village to ascend. You know why? Because can't nobody make it out here by themselves. Now, don't go nowhere because we got a lot in store. I have my first male guest today and I'm super excited because you know what? Males ascend too. So don't go nowhere.
This world we live in is so unforgiving. We all have setbacks, but the comeback make the biggest difference. Yeah, what doesn't kill you make you more resilient. So even when your world is falling down, you gotta keep ascending. Gotta keep ascending. Oh yeah. Gotta keep ascending. Yeah. Even at your worst, you gotta keep your vision. That's the only way that you gon' keep ascending. Gotta keep ascending. Oh yeah. Gotta keep ascending. Yeah. Even at your worst, you gotta keep your vision. That's the only way that you gon' keep ascending. Her pain is my pain. Her struggle's my struggle. I know how it feels and nobody is there to care about your dreams and your hustle.
Welcome back to Ascending with Toni Rochelle. And as promised, I have my first guest, my first male guest. I'm excited. Hey, Lex.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling relaxed.
Thank you for coming on.
No, seriously, thank you for inviting me.
I really appreciate you being here.
Hey.
You ready to get into
Appreciate
it?
me.
I appreciate you. Are you ready to get into it?
Yeah.
Okay, good, because I need to be in your business and see what's going on in your world.
Yeah.
What I want to know is, how have you ascended through life? When you think about ascending, what does that mean to you?
I feel like for me, ascending came once I moved to California because I'm originally from Seattle, but I really feel like it wasn't the move that had me ascending. It was when I decided to be able to just talk and also be in front of a camera, like step into the light. Because I'm the type of person, I have no problem operating in the shadows and people not knowing who I am.
Yeah.
And that's hard because you got to network.
You do.
Especially for the business that you're in, the business that I'm in. It's like you're supposed to shake hands, make friends. I don't be wanting to do none of that shit.
Not an introvert.
Yeah, but I'm like one to the fullest. I'll sit and chill and be happy about it.
Yeah.
And I'm changing that, but it's taken a lot of time. And I feel like I'm like that because even when I was young, I was not tripping about being in the light. While other people, I'm gonna be in the NBA and all that. I was like, I'll be a sports agent or I'll be a manager because
I'll get the money for you.
Yeah, I'll get the money, and you can have all that fame and everything. I want to be able to walk to Safeway and get some chicken tenders.
Which is rare because most people want to be in a spotlight.
Yeah.
I need that attention.
Yeah, and that it's not for me. And then on top of that, it's come from a single parent home.
Mm-hmm.
Mom raised 3 boys, God bless her.
Yeah.
And so she worked 2 jobs, so it was really just boys raising boys.
That part.
Yeah, because, we're from the age, I'm from the age where it's like, people wasn't, somebody need to be home. It was like,
no.
Close the door.
You already know what to do. You already know what to do.
Don't answer that door. Don't answer that door.
Don't tell nobody you at home by yourself.
Exactly.
The food is on the stove.
That
you better go make you some ramen noodles.
Mm-hmm. Oh, some good ramen noodles.
You don't know nothing about that.
What? Because you gotta use the pack, but then you gotta throw your own. You
don't know nothing about. You ain't been ascending.
You ain't seen that, right?
You don't know nothing about that.
But so with my oldest brother, since he didn't have that male figure, he went outside and found male figures, and then so since he's the oldest, he feels like I'm raising these 2. I'm gonna teach them outside.
Yeah, he gonna teach you what he know.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, I was outside 12, 13, roughly, somewhere around there.
Getting into it.
Getting into everything. And then I'm with my 2 older brothers, so it's like...
You protected.
Yeah, and you thinking it's right. Because if they doing it, they ain't gonna teach me wrong.
Y'all was almost like some BML. What is it? BMF? That's what that sound like.
Yeah, and then it's like, I'm from Seattle, Washington. And
they got black people there?
Yeah, a lot of black people through the South End, Central, Tacoma.
Wow.
Yeah, there's tons of black people there, but like as I got older, once I got out of high school, then it was like fully off the porch, like taking trips, having fun. But at 20, my brother passed.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and that's kind of when everything changed, because the second oldest brother, he seen what happened. He was like, nah, I'm out. I'm done. This ain't what it's supposed to be.
Right.
But me, I was like, oh, and I kind of just went all the way left.
What does all the way left mean?
All the way left meant like I made a decision that, I'm gonna hustle harder than everybody. I'm gonna have more money than anybody, and I didn't really care about nothing else.
Yeah.
And that's a problem when like you got family at the time, you have a girl, and your girl's like, yeah, this is becoming too much for me. And my brother even set me down. My brother set me down once, and he was like, you starting to get lost, and I'm trying to talk to you. I'm trying to, because you got to understand, like, and I wasn't hearing it. And
was that like a coping mechanism, you think, or a cry for help?
I think it was just more, I don't know if it was a cry for help or if it was just that's how I was dealing with grief. Like, it just turned to, I want to see the world burn. And
that's deep.
That's what that was the only thing on my mind. See the world burn, get a lot of money. It's simple, but it ain't right.
No.
And it took all the way, a lot of oopsie daisies, a little bit of jail. And then finally my mom like really set me down. She was like, look, I buried one son and I'm not going to bury another one. And on top of that, if you go to jail for a long time, I'm not going to come visit you. Because she was like, that's basically you being dead, being in jail.
Yeah.
So, and that time when she talked to me, for some reason it hit. I flipped a coin.
Well, she told you she ain't come to see you.
Yeah, it's like, no, nothing on the books, nothing. I was like, yeah, I need to make a change. And so I flipped a coin, heads or tails. Heads was New York, tails was California.
Wow. Well, we want to hear more of that. We're going to go to commercial, but we'll be right back.
Are you looking for LED video walls, pro audio, lighting, or Hammond organ service?
The world can be yours. Our goal at Otter Pro Consultants is to provide effective solutions designed to boost your business for the global market. It doesn't matter how large or small your company is. Let us tailor a quality system to fit your business needs. to assure your company has a competitive edge in the global market. With our 100% success rate, we guarantee we can make it happen for you.
Now the question is, most people say, well, what is the gospel? And I was talking to one brother who told me the gospel was this and preaching that and preaching this, preaching the Bible, preaching. I said, no, that's not the gospel. That's not the gospel. So actual gospel, the gospel is the power of God that releases the effects of salvation, amen, in our lives.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. If you could see you through my eyes instead of your ego, I believe you'd be surprised to see that you've been blind. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
At the American Cancer Society, we exist to end cancer as we know it, for everyone. Everyone, like the 1 in 2 men or 1 in 3 women still at risk of getting cancer in their life, a reality that only motivates us to do more. Like funding breakthrough cancer research and using advocacy to effect meaningful change. More like enhancing patient access to quality care and supporting patients in their cancer journey, all with the sole purpose of ensuring everyone has an opportunity to prevent, detect, treat, and survive cancer. From our dedicated ACS team members to our cherished volunteers and partners, we won't stop until we're able to have a meaningful impact on every cancer and every life. That's why we do all that we do. From our Hope Lodge communities, providing a home away from home for people with cancer and their caregivers, to our work to close the Medicaid gap to ensure affordable treatments and access for all via our American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network. It's why we've funded billions in research, contributing to 3.5 million less cancer deaths. And that's only scratching the surface of all that we do. Our organization isn't one that just talks. We act. And when we act, we affect millions of cancer journeys every day. Together, let's continue to take on every cancer and change every life. American Cancer Society. Every cancer, every life.
Welcome back to Ascending with Toni Rochelle, and I'm still here with my guest Lex. So you was talking about flipping a coin, trying to figure out where you was gonna start your new life at.
Yeah, and I flipped a coin, tails, California. And the reason I flipped the coin was because Coming to America. Favorite movie.
My favorite movie too.
I love it. So I was like, hey, if he can do it and go all the way from Africa, like I'm gonna get right.
I love that.
And then I flipped the coin one more time. It was like North California. Only place I found was a place in Richmond. Shouts out to Richmond because like that was my first home. Mm-hmm. And I just got up, moved there. And even moving there, the one thing I told myself was I'm gonna like completely change and try to do a lot of the opposite things that I did back home or I did for the first 25 years of my life.
So I love how you decided to make this change. Like, where do you think that came from? I know you said you had the discussion with your mom and then you lost your brother. Like, where did the determination and the strength to want to change?
Honestly, I wasn't happy with myself. Mm-hmm. Like, as angry as I was, it was also just other feelings. And I didn't know what it was, but at one point in time I had to when I woke up, I would take like 2 shots of cognac just to get the day going and like smoke my weed. Like I was really like, I was depressed.
There it is.
And I was coping with it. And I never really coped with my brother's loss. and like losing my brother. So it was just like I knew I needed to change. Like to the point I started looking at myself like, nah, this ain't who you supposed to be, and life ain't supposed to be like this. Like I tell people all the time, like fast money ain't really fast. All it is like a lifetime of trauma. Like you getting fast money, but it's gonna turn to mental trauma, or you're gonna be stuck in a box or in the grave. So it's like you make it out, but then you ain't never the same. And I went through tons of therapy, tons, and I didn't do it till I moved to California. And like it was after the first couple of years of really settling in and getting stuff together. And then
did someone suggest you go to counseling, or did you just
shouts out to Monty Draper.
Shout out to Monty. We love you.
And he sent me a link, and it was nothing but black therapists, you know, females and males. So I started off with a black male therapist, and we went through a lot of sessions, and I got a lot better. Okay. And then I went with a black woman, and like she dug really deep into a whole bunch of other just issues, but it took years of it.
It took years of it, but you was submissive to go there and do that. And do that work on yourself. Yeah. Did you know that you was ascending?
No. At the time I didn't. I still didn't know. Like when I started filming Monty's podcast, and I used to say little things off camera, and I wasn't mic'd up. And then one day he was like, "Bro, I'm about to mic you up," and I was like, "Nah, don't mic me up. I don't need to. I'm cool operating on this side." Right. Like, "Nah, I gotta mic you up," and that's why I said I feel like that's the moment, because that's when I felt like I'm really changing, because before I would never talk on no mic. I used to hate pictures. Like I said, shadows, I'm good.
And you're here.
I know. Like when you hit me about that, like I was seriously like, what do I text back? Do I do this? Do I not? And then I was finally like, nah, I'm gonna do this, because this is another step of changing and growing and becoming that.
I love that. You were ascending. Yeah. Like you was literally ascending, and you made that decision. That's the best part that I love. Like you yourself made that decision because you cared enough about your life.
That part right there. And you get to say? And it's crazy because like my wife, we've been on and off since high school. And now we're married, and we've been married for 10 years, but before that,
congratulations.
Thank you. We was on and off. And like I said, when I was going through it, and even when I moved to California, she was like, nah, you need to go there because I need to see what you would do. And like a lot of people from back home, they was like, oh, you'll be right back. You ain't gonna be able to make it like that. You ain't gonna be able to go straight. You gonna be back here. Be right back here with us, doing the shit you was, part of my language, doing the stuff you've been doing.
But that little boy that was 12 years old that didn't want to be in the spotlight but wanted to have people's back, you did something different. Yeah.
And it's hard because it's like, you know, growing up with the people you grow up with, like you tie these deep bonds, and then at the same time, it's like, as you're starting to ascend and grow and change, sometimes they will not understand what you were put on the earth to do and what you was meant to do. And then some of them, like, they get angry at you for wanting to change because they just, and it's not even anger. I feel like it's the fear, because it's like they know in their heart they need to change too, but they don't know how to do it. Oh, yes. So they rather just sit there and tell you, no, you're supposed to be back here with us. What you doing? And then they try to tell you abandoned them. And
how did you handle that? So did you just cut everybody out? I mean, you were already in another state, so that was a good thing.
I cut a lot of people off. And then it's like the last time I went home, the sad thing is when I came home and I talked to some of the people that I hadn't talked to in a minute, they're like, yeah, you remember Whoop you used to run with? Yeah, he hooked on meth now. He homeless. You might see him riding his bike downtown, like, and it's like, these people, like, I was like, sad. Wait a minute, they're what? And it's like, wow, it's crazy, because that's not what you would expect. It's like, when I left, you guys was good. Yeah. And within the time that I've been gone, like, I moved here at the very end of 2009, and been here since. And the first couple of times I even came to visit, I didn't really link up with nobody from back home. I would just be at my mom's and just be around my close, intermediate family.
Yeah.
And
well, we're going to take a commercial break because we got to pay these bills, but we'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
No, I don't know. No, I'm scared. I mean, you're so...
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Are you looking for LED video walls, pro audio, lighting, or Hammond organ service?
The world can be yours. Our goal at OtterPro Consultants is to provide effective solutions designed to boost your business for the global market. It doesn't matter how large or small your company is. Let us tailor a quality system to fit your business needs to assure your company has a competitive edge in the global market. With our 100% success rate, we guarantee we can make it happen for you.
Now the question is, most people say, well, what is the gospel? And I was talking to one brother who told me the gospel was this and preaching that and preaching this, preaching the Bible, preaching. I said, no, that's not the gospel. That's not the gospel. So actual gospel, the gospel is the power of God that releases the effects of salvation, amen, in our lives.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. If you could see you through my eyes instead of your ego, I believe you'd be surprised to see that you've been blind. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. Alright, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Welcome back to Ascending with Toni Rochelle, and we're still here with Lex. And I'm just celebrating you, knowing that you have ascended and you have cared enough to just make changes in your life. Now, before commercial break, you was talking about the reward.
Yeah. I think one of the other biggest rewards for me is being able not to be mad at like my pops and coming to this place of even understanding, because one of the things that I talked about with my most recent therapist was having to do with my dad was finding out that he's gone through a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
And I never used to think about that because you kind of think about your parents as
You
just
don't.
your parents are your parents.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't been through no trauma, and then come to find out he been through a whole lot of, and he ain't never talked about it. So I'm like, no wonder you just break out at any moment and yell. And the one thing I tell people is like, bruh, no matter how bad things are with your parents, you gotta give them grace.
Yeah.
Because really, like I said, they've been through stuff that we can't even imagine. Like I said, my dad's old. He's 78 years old. And he grew up in Timpson, Texas.
Wow.
So
racist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
so he's seen some stuff.
He's seen in like a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't find out none of this stuff until my mom started talking to me about stuff that my grandma told her about him growing up.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like you messed up for real. And you just holding all that in and you don't even want to like let out.
And how does that make you feel? Because you were in something like this too, and you were feeling the kind of way.
Yeah. And
you made a decision to change off of your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing that your father is going through that same thing, how does that make you feel?
Honestly, it makes me sad, and I try to talk to him about it, but then you gotta understand, I'm his youngest child.
Yeah.
So he really don't want to hear that from his youngest child. He still telling me, boy, you ain't even lived enough life to try to talk to me about that. And then when I talk to all my older siblings, they're like, we tried to talk to him. He ain't gonna change. And at first I was kind of upset about it, like, nah, you need to get help and da-da-da. And then finally, when it really just dawned on me, it's like, I gotta give him grace because he grew up in a completely different time. And he don't know no better. Like,
yeah.
The saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, as much as people get mad at it, that saying's a saying for a reason.
No.
And it's like, I love him to death, but there's just certain things I know it is instilled in him. And for him, he looks at a man as a man works.
Oh, it's a whole different story.
It's like, it's work. As long as I'm working and I'm putting food on the table, I should be allowed to have as many women as I want.
He got that old school mentality.
Real men don't cry.
He's an OG, y'all.
Yeah, he's a triple OG.
Well, Lex, you have been a pleasure. Thank you for coming and being vulnerable and sharing your story. Before you go, though, I really want the people to know exactly who you are, what you doing, what you got it going on.
Okay. Well, I'm Alexius Franklin, and I'm a filmmaker. And I'm a producer, writer, work on a podcast. I just dropped a comedy skit that Miss Toni is one of the actresses in there, and she kills it.
Thank you.
And even how we met through that was like huge, because I was stressed out because, like I told you, 2 other actresses, they both dropped out for completely different reasons. So then,
and I told you, I got you.
Yeah, and hey, we got you. And she like came and she was so professional and she killed it, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And before that, but even before I started like doing these short films and skits, I was shooting music videos. So that's
what was the reason of you getting to do this type of work?
Quick story. I managed rappers. I paid somebody to shoot 2 music videos. They shot the videos and disappeared. Never seen them again.
And you didn't get your footage?
Didn't get my footage. Didn't get nothing. You ran off on the plug.
So sometimes you gotta do it yourself.
So I was like, you know what? I went to a community college just to learn like the grassroots of it, to learn the basis of it, and then College of YouTube. Just started YouTube, tons of videos on editing, lighting, and I was like, all right. And then first I was only shooting the videos of the artists I manage. Yeah. And then other people started reaching out like, hey, bro, do you do it? And then it started getting an income, and then I started to realize that I liked it. And then I just started wanting to tell stories. So then I started like looking up how to screenwrite, and then from there it's just been on and running.
You discovered who you wanted to be.
Hey, ascending.
Oh, don't you love it, community? This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Well, we almost out of time, but I want the people to follow you, to keep up with you. They might want you to come film something. I don't know.
Hey.
So where can they find you?
Instagram, Let's Bubble Productions. That's like the business Instagram. And then my other Instagram is LexBub_LBR. And that's the same handle on Twitter.
Anything else you want to tell a young Lex out there that's trying to ascend through life?
Man, you can do it, and ain't nothing wrong with changing. And it's gonna be uncomfortable. It's gonna be fun, but at the same time, it ain't gonna be fun. But once you bear through it, the fruits of your labor are going to be great. That's all I can tell you.
That's a lot to tell, and that is wonderful. Congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to hear more and more. Thank you for coming on this platform.
Thank you for having me. No, it's like, seriously, thank you.
Keep ascending. We're running out of time, y'all. I know y'all enjoying yourself because I'm enjoying myself. But we'll be right back for one more segment, so don't go nowhere.
Hey.
Are you looking for LED video walls, pro audio, lighting, or Hammond organ service?
The world can be yours. Our goal at OtterPro Consultants is to provide effective solutions designed to boost your business for the global market. It doesn't matter how large or small your company is. Let us tailor a quality system to fit your business needs to assure your company has a competitive edge in the global market. With our 100% success rate, we guarantee we can make it happen for you.
Now, the question is, most people say, well, what is the gospel? And I was talking to one brother who told me the gospel was this and preaching that and preaching this, preaching the Bible, preaching. I said, no, that's not the gospel. That's not the gospel. So actual gospel, the gospel is the power of God that releases the effects of salvation, amen, in our lives.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. If you could see you through my eyes instead of your ego, I believe you'd be surprised to see that you've been blind. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
At the American Cancer Society, we exist to end cancer as we know it, for everyone. Everyone, like the 1 in 2 men or 1 in 3 women still at risk of getting cancer in their life, a reality that only motivates us to do more. Like funding breakthrough cancer research and using advocacy to effect meaningful change. More like enhancing patient access to quality care and supporting patients in their cancer journey, all with the sole purpose of ensuring everyone has an opportunity to prevent, detect, treat, and survive cancer. From our dedicated ACS team members to our cherished volunteers and partners, we won't stop until we're able to have a meaningful impact on every cancer and every life. That's why we do all that we do. From our Hope Lodge communities, providing a home away from home for people with cancer and their caregivers, to our work to close the Medicaid gap to ensure affordable treatments and access for all via our American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network. It's why we've funded billions in research, contributing to 3.5 million less cancer deaths. And that's only scratching the surface of all that we do. Our organization isn't one that just talks. We act. And when we act, we affect millions of cancer journeys every day. Together, let's continue to take on every cancer and change every life. American Cancer Society. Every cancer, every life.
Welcome back to Ascending with Toni Rochelle. I really hope you guys enjoyed this show today. What I took away is that ascending is a lifestyle. Don't feel like because we're telling you to ascend today that tomorrow that's what you're gonna do. Because just like my guest Lex said, you gotta want to change. You gotta want something different, and you gotta make it happen. And don't be afraid to go to therapy. Don't be afraid to talk about your feelings and be emotional. But you can do it. You can ascend. It's a lifestyle of change. I think sometimes when we think about change, the first thing that comes to mind is fear. I know for sure I do. I get scared right away, like, oh my God. But you don't have to freak out. It's a time and a place for everything. But if you decide that you want, if you decide that you need, if you decide that you won't, you know what I'm saying? It would happen. You get to make the ultimate decision. You get to be the driver of the seat in your car of your life to ascend. And if you need something to help yourself to stay encouraged, keep on watching this platform. Keep on listening to these stories because these are real people right here on our platform. Telling us their truth about how they have ascended. So don't worry, you're gonna be all right. You're doing good, and you have been ascending this far. Now just keep on doing it, and keep on coming back and watching this show, because we got so much more work to do, and there is space and time for healing. Until then, I'm your host with the most, your girl, Toni Rochelle. Keep ascending.
No, I don't know. No, I'm scared. I mean, you're so...
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Are you looking for LED video walls, pro audio, lighting, or Hammond organ service?
The world can be yours. Our goal at OtterPro Consultants is to provide effective solutions designed to boost your business for the global market. It doesn't matter how large or small your company is. Let us tailor a quality system to fit your business needs to assure your company has a competitive edge in the global market. With our 100% success rate, we guarantee we can make it happen for you.
Now the question is, most people say, well, what is the gospel? And I was talking to one brother who told me the gospel was this and preaching that and preaching this, preaching the Bible, preaching. I said, no, that's not the gospel. That's not the gospel. So actual gospel, the gospel is the power of God that releases the effects of salvation, amen, in our lives.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. If you could see you through my eyes instead of your ego, I believe you'd be surprised to see that you've been blind. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. Alright, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
I'm flipping the coin, I'm flipping the coin. Is it heads or is it tails? Do I want trauma or do I want change? I'm flipping the coin, I'm flipping the coin. I don't know, the streets look good to me. I don't know. 12 years old, out on the streets. 12 years old, out on the streets. Is it right or is it wrong? Flipping the coin, flipping the coin. Do I want to change or do I want to live with trauma? Brother told me it was okay. Daddy wasn't around. Mama was working. Flipping the coin, flipping the coin, flipping the coin. Do I want change or do I want trauma? Because the lifetime of trauma must not stay. I'm not feeling good. I'm not feeling this. I need the change to come. The change must come now. I don't care what they say about me. Flipping the coin, flipping the coin, flipping the coin. Do I change or do I live with the lifetime of trauma? With the money in my pocket, with no worries, with being the big man on the block. Flipping the coin, flipping the coin, flipping the coin. Do I stay or do I go? Do I stay comfortable or do I make myself uncomfortable? Flipping the coin, flipping the coin. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to do. But I know I want to change. I know that I don't have to be stuck. I don't know that I don't have to stay with the generational curse of what I was taught around my environment. Flipping the coin, flipping the coin. New York or Cali? New York or Cali? I'm home. I'm home. And home is where I'm gonna get counseled. Home is where I'm not gonna be afraid to show my emotions and change and be the person that I wanna be. Because I get to make the choice of breaking the cycle. Flipping the coin to ascend.
World is falling down, you gotta keep ascending. Gotta keep ascending, oh yeah. Gotta keep ascending, yeah. Even at your worst, you gotta keep your vision. That's the only way that you gon' keep ascending. Gotta keep ascending, oh yeah. Gotta keep ascending, yeah. Even at your worst, you gotta keep your vision. That's the only way that you gon' keep ascending. Her pain is my pain, her struggle's my struggle. Shit. I know how it feels when nobody is there to care about your dreams and your hustle. I know how it feels when you living your life on a budget as tight as a huddle. I know how it feels when you stuck in the mud trying to figure out how to rise above the rubble. Now the lost child is a lost teen that can barely read with a pretty smile and low.